How many manga do this? You know what this is about when you open the first page of the book and you get a drop down little pinup image of the girl. This is volume 2. Hey guys, Mobby Nerd here, and today I want to do a different video. I say that a lot. Anyways, I thought it'd be funny to talk about my manga collection. Now it's really funny, the backstory about this, because I've by pure circumstance came to own a lot of manga, most of which I have not read. But before we do that, let me just bring out the tote. I haven't touched this stuff since I was probably in high school. Alright, so this is my tote. This is my manga tote that I stole from my roommate that I'm probably gonna get back if you're watching this, I promise. A little backstory. I don't even think this is all of it, to be honest. I don't think this is all of it. I think this is most of it. But a little backstory before we begin. You see, back in the days between middle school and high school, I was a troubled young man, and I would get suspended quite frequently. So to combat that, they came up with an interesting idea of if I am well behaved and I don't get suspended for a week, I can buy one book from Borders, because I was obsessed with graphic novels as I knew them at the time, before I even knew what manga was. And so that's how that began. But as fate would have it, eventually Borders would close its doors for good. Depressing me, but ending in probably the sweetest deal I've ever landed in my life when it comes to buying books. You see, the books were on sale, buy one get one free, 2 for $1. Me and my friend Dan jumped on that deal and bought a lot of books, only to realize when we got to the front counter, the guy at the register really couldn't be bothered to go through that many. He's just, oh yeah, like, just take what you want. Honestly, we're not gonna get anything back for that anyways, so if you want the manga, you can take all of it, just take it. Which is why I said earlier, most of which I have not read. There are you can probably tell what I read and what I didn't read. Also, you'll see something in common with the young high school me with what interested me when it came to manga at first. Don't judge me. Anyways, I rambled on. Let's get to the point. You guys want to see what's in this tote. So I want to have fun with this, all right? I want to have fun with this. I want to reach in here kind of blindly, grab a manga, and without reading the synopsis, I want to see if I remember it, if I've read it, what I liked about it, what I hated about it, like a blind review. And then I'll read it and see how close I was to that. So I'm just gonna get this out of the way right now. I read a lot of Negima, whatever you want to pronounce it. People pronounce it differently. But I read a lot of this series, all right? Like, this was the one that I got into for all the wrong reasons. So I remember volume 1 right here. I got into this for all the wrong reasons, and then I was just hooked. And then I watched the anime, and I hated it because I saw the dub. This guy in the dub, this guy right here, is annoying in the dub. He sounds like he's choking on a frog or something.
I meant, you've an unusual love aura about you.
I'll take that as a no. Any last words, kid?
I was just trying to help.
He sounds like he's got something in his throat. He sounds like he needs cough drops. Every time he speaks, I couldn't watch it. I could not get past the first episode. That was the first time I was appalled by a dub. But this dude, just going off of memory here, this was like Harry Potter meets DBZ meets... That is basically it. It was Harry Potter and Dragon Ball Z. That's what I felt. That's what it felt like to me. Okay, I gotta remember here. It's about a teacher who had to keep his abilities a secret. I think in their society, mages had to remain secret from society, but to like pass a certain test or something, they had to go and teach. I don't know. They got like random jobs out of this weird sorting hat or orb or something. Harry Potter. And he was like the main character was the youngest one to ever like graduate and got sent out to be a teacher. So you have this teacher who I think is like 10 or 12 teaching these high school girls, and it turns into a harem. It gets kind of honestly a little creepy. There's like a character I think that was obsessed with the little boys, that's in love with them. A lot of the students were falling in love with them. It was weird, but look. I just randomly opened a page, boom. But it had action. Like this cover shows it. Like, there are a lot of fight scenes in this that I thought were really cool and well illustrated. But this had a lot of characters. Ken Akamatsu, I remember that name. This dude's the godfather of harems. Ken Akamatsu is the godfather of harems. This book has a lot of characters, and one thing I'll give Ken Akamatsu is he does give each of the characters their own time to shine, so to speak, in the manga. As you look at the back of each cover, there's always featuring one of the girls that's prominent throughout it. So I thought that was cool. But I'm gonna be real with you guys. I got into it for all the wrong reasons. 3.
You know I'm all about them boobs and the butts, fan service.
Deers. I couldn't tell you jack squat about Deers. I don't remember much about this other than that when I got it, I was, oh my god, actually, look, this just pops up. How many manga do this? You know what this is about when you open the first page of the book and you get a drop down little pinup. I don't read a lot of manga anymore these days, so correct me if I'm wrong, but like, do you see stuff like this anymore? Or is this something that's just gone with the times? Because that's just the weirdest thing to me. And I want to pause because this is a great thumbnail. Okay, I gotta try to remember what Deers is about. I think Deers was about aliens or something being integrated into our society, and I have no idea. Like, she's got a huge collar on. It's probably one of those animes where the word master gets thrown around, but I'm just calling it now. And explain the synopsis. It literally says, Takiya realizes that too much of a good thing is a pretty darn good thing. He's the master to a hot alien. What'd I say? The word master's gonna get tossed around. To a hot alien, 3 beautiful babes constantly surround him, and school is looking better and better too. His life is idyllic until a Deers agent arrives on the scene with a mission. Bring Rin back to the community. Yeah, so Deers, that's one of those. It's one of those. My Hime. Back then I read it as My Haim because I didn't really understand Japanese. But anyways, I think it was about girls that had superpowers, like they had to work together with dudes or something. It has a parental advisory sticker on it, and funny backstory, Borders did not give a shit if you were 18 or not. I bought some stuff that I had no business looking at my age. Let's leave it at that. So this was made by the creative team behind Cowboy Bebop. I did not know that. I can't remember anything that this was about. Let's just read it real quick. When Fuka Academy is attacked by strange creatures called orphans, the school set up a special task force of this female members called Himes, who must team up with a unique key. See, I was right in that regard. To battle these invaders. I remember this manga having some pretty sick illustration though. Like these pages, it's got some good artwork on it, you know? It was action-packed. I think I got into this because of the fan service, but then I stayed because I was somewhat interested in the plot, but at the same time, I guess it wasn't that interesting because I couldn't remember any of it. All right, now this is, I can tell you straight up by the fact that I don't have volume 1 of this, because I see volume 3 and 6 of this series. And it's called Ghost Talker's Daydream. Now, I'll tell you one thing. I got this around the time Borders closed. I just grabbed these. And I'm mad, alright? This is from Dark Horse Manga. Again, you're going to see this a lot. Parental advisory stickers. But I actually was really intrigued with this because, if I remember correctly, Ghost Talker's Daydream was about a girl who was like really sensitive to spirits and she could talk to them. And she solved different situations. Ghost Talker's Daydream was an interesting manga to me because the ghost stories actually got me thinking. I love ghost stories. I like yokai. I never realized how much I liked yokai stories until, well, recently. And looking back, it showed. Because I really liked Ghost Talkers. First page, again. What does this have to do with anything in the book? Nothing. Nothing. But I remember the character being funny. In fact, you know what? I think she's like a dominatrix or something. I really think the main character was a dominatrix. Hold on, let me read the synopsis of, I think, 3. After a young lesbian mysteriously dies, her spirit begins to haunt her lover. Who do you call when the ghost of your ex-lover keeps terrorizing you? Saki Misaki, the albino dominatrix necromancer. What the fuck? The albino dominatrix necromancer. Oh my god. The highly sexualized and eerily suspenseful tale of Ghost Talker's Daydream hits a provocative high point. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. This is shameless fan service. They're selling it on that. I respect that.
All the right plot in all the right places.
Actually, this shit creeped me out, man. Like, the weird faces. And I know this is probably like nothing. I can tell I barely read this though by how pristine the book is. Look how well kept these are. They still have that new book smell. Suzuka! Again, with the mature content sticker. Suzuka is a big book compared to the other ones. Like, look at this. Okay, what was Suzuka about? What can I remember about Suzuka? A girl on the track team, exploding eggs. That's it. And it had boobs in it. Because that was, again, dumb me. That's what I was in. That's what I was into at the time. It's by Koji Seo. I'm butchering names. I apologize. Okay, let's see how close I was. She's so cool. Yamamoto is ready for a fresh start, so when his aunt invites him to stay rent-free in her big city boarding house. Oh, okay. Here we go. Guy gets to stay in a dorm that's probably full of females. In hustling, bustling Tokyo, Yamamoto jumps at the chance. There's just one teensy-weensy catch. It's an all-girls. It's an all-girl housing complex and spa. And a spa. Things get even more nerve-wracking when Yamamoto meets his neighbor, Suzuka, a beautiful track and field star. She's not just the cutest girl Yamamoto's ever met. She's also the coolest, the smartest, and the most intimidating. Can an ordinary guy like Yamamoto ever hope to win over Suzuka? If I remember anything though, I just remember eggs exploding in the microwave and relating to that very much because I was dumb and I used to try to microwave eggs to boil them. And they do explode when you do that. I remember it having really good illustration. Like, it wasn't super spectacular, but it was nice. And I remember it being one of the first manga I ever read where I actually like got into the romantic story. Because normally I'm not much of a fan of romance. If anything, Suzuka taught me that I was a closeted romance novel fan. But honestly, in terms of fan service, I think the most this series ever went was showing some cleavage, showing some boobs. You saw some nipples. That's about it. But Suzuka, I liked it. I think I actually got into this series, and I remember liking her the best. She was best girl. Let's talk about Warriors of Tao. Warriors of Tao was one that, again, parental advisory sticker, so you know I had to pick it up. But I'm actually glad I got into this one for dumb reasons. I'm really glad because Warriors of Tao was really good. I was so into the conflict between the characters. I mean, there was a really creepy scene that I literally just opened up on where a character was, let's just say Blonde Ambition was a messed up chapter, alright? I don't want to say the word because it'll get the video immediately demonetized, if it's not already. But a character was forced into submission in a really messed up way to steal her powers. So let me try to figure out what Warriors of Tao was. 'Cause I liked it, but I was also disappointed at the same time. Warriors of Tao was about these people from different planets. No, they're from Earth. Different people from Earth, I'm assuming it was Earth, were chosen to basically fight to defend Earth in some weird super battle against other planets. Some big tournament where it's winner take all. And for some reason, there was a lot of inner drama between the people who were chosen on Earth, and they were fighting each other. I don't get it. There's one guy named Karma who's an absolute dick, and that's all I remember. And I remember the guy had like a weird parasite thing on his hand that could eat things. I don't know. But I liked it. I do remember that I liked it. I read a whopping 4 volumes of it, and that's where it ended. It was only 4 volumes long, if I'm not mistaken. Because the final volume ended with them defeating, I'm not going to spoil it, it's something that you should read, but it ended with a message from the author who also shared her obsession with ugly dudes, which makes perfect sense. This is the final installment of the Toma series. As you've seen, our story is somewhat incomplete. As author of this series, I feel a certain responsibility to my readers. I'd wanted to bring it to a full and proper conclusion. Perhaps another time, sniff. After all, looking back, the most exciting thing about this series was the anticipation of that great climax yet to come. Possibly someday it will. I don't know if it did. Long story short, it didn't actually get a true ending, and it literally only ended with The main character, I think, saving the girl he likes. Maybe she got with him. I don't know. I don't remember how it ended. I just know that this dude, this anime it was really messed up. It had a lot of body horror. A lot of body horror. And I'm going to show up, I don't know if I should show it, but I'm going to show it. Like, it was really well illustrated and messed up of his arm. Like right here. His weapon is like this weird parasite. I think it comes out of his eye too, like on the cover of it. And it's just freaky. Each of the people have like an ability. But I remember his was the coolest. I remember Karma just being a dick. Karma was his friend. But if your friend's name is Karma, he's probably an asshole. Just calling it now. If your name is Karma, you're probably an asshole. Now this is a series that I didn't read fully. I don't even know if I paid attention when I read it. But I watched the anime and this opened my eyes on a lot of subjects around depression, mental health, and it's one of those things where I really feel like you need to either read it or watch it. If you are at all interested in how Japanese, I really feel like this is a good example of like being autistic in a society where you are seen as useless if you don't leave your house. It's about neats, people who stay in their house and don't want to leave. This guy is super paranoid and thinks he's being spied on by the government, by a radio station, the NHK. I don't know if the NHK is a radio station or a network, but throughout the series you see a lot of his own delusions. Like his TV's talking to him and stuff. His imagination kind of runs wild. And it's about him slowly like leaving his room, basically for someone else's sake. I don't want to say too much about this one because I really feel like this is something that you should read or watch for yourself. It's worth it. It's worth it. Trust me. If there's one Mobby Nerd like gold star recommendation, you absolutely have to read it or watch it. Welcome to the NHK is high on that list. Please do. And if you do, tell me what you thought of it. But that's actually where I'm going to end this video for today. I'll find my other tote and we'll do this again if you like that. If not, then I'll never touch this again. I apologize for wasting your time. I'm Mobby Nerd. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. I don't know what I tried to do with thumbs up and a wave. I'm just going to turn this off. Goodbye. Your night to shine.